Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today I'm going over my AFC South predictions for the 2022 NFL season. Sorry I haven't done this series in a while, although it is one of my favorite series of the season. I've been extremely busy. These videos take a lot of time to do, and I'm going to try and get a more consistent upload schedule, especially going into the school year, but we're going to see how that goes. So today I'm going to talk about the AFC South, each of the teams, what I think how I think they're going to do, how I think they match up to their schedules, and who's going to win the AFC South. So let's get straight into it. First off, we have the Texans at 3-13. Although I do think the Texans are going to have a stronger season this year than last year, I don't think it's going to be by much. I think that Davis Mills is going to have a great season, but I think that their schedule is just too hard to do a whole lot. The AFC is extremely tough this year, and the Texans are one of the teams that just aren't in the running. And if you're not in the running in the AFC, you're not going to win a lot of games. I have the Colts. I have them losing to the Colts week 1. I have them losing to the Broncos week 2. I have them getting their first win against the Bears in week 3. I think the Bears are arguably the worst team in the league this year. And then I have them losing 5 in a row to the Chargers, Jaguars, Raiders, Titans, and Eagles. I think that the Eagles are easily better than the Texans this year, and although I do think that they're going to have a stronger team than last year simply because of A.J. Brown existing, I don't think that A.J. Brown is a significant enough addition to the Eagles to make them a much better team. I think that they're going to have a similar season than last year where they beat all the teams below 500 and lose to all the teams above 500. As for the Raiders and the Jaguars, I have them splitting with the Jaguars, and I think that the Raiders are, although they're a toss-up, they're a very strong contender, and the Texans just aren't a contender. I have them beating the Giants, who again I think along with the Bears are one of the worst, if not the worst team in the league. And then I have them losing 6 in a row to Washington, the Dolphins, the Browns, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Titans, 5 of which are playoff contenders. Although Deshaun Watson suspended 6 games, the Browns are still technically playoff contenders in my opinion. Even if they go 2-4 without Deshaun Watson, he could turn on the gas and they could finish 10-6, 11-5 maybe. But 10-6 would definitely be possible and potentially a playoff contender. As for the Dolphins, I think that they're going to have a strong year this year with Tyreek Hill. They're playoff contenders. And then the Cowboys, Chiefs, and Titans, obviously. And then I have them beating the Jaguars and losing to the Colts. For the Jaguars, I have them winning 6 games this year. That's what I had them predicted at last year. That's what I have them predicted at again this year. I was a little high last year, but I think that with Trevor Lawrence in the second year and with Travis Etienne, I think that they're going to have a better season, although it's not going to be significantly better because of their schedule. Washington, win. 3 losses in a row to the Colts, the Chargers, and the Eagles. A win against the Texans, a win against the Colts, and a win against the Giants. I've been told by all the Colts fans in the comments section that that the Colts always lose in Jacksonville every single year, so I'm going to hold them to that, and I'm going to predict that they lose in Jacksonville, even though I think that they have a significantly better team. I have the Broncos. I have them losing to the Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, and Ravens, who are all significant Super Bowl contenders. Not even playoff contenders, but the Broncos, Chiefs, and Ravens are Super Bowl contenders. Maybe not the Raiders, but all very strong teams. I have them beating the Lions, losing to Tennessee, losing to the Cowboys, beating the Jets, and then losing the last 2 games of the season to the Texans and the Titans. I really hope that Trevor Lawrence has a bit of a comeback season from last year, but the team surrounding him just isn't good enough for them to do a whole lot more than 6 games, especially with this schedule. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games against playoff contenders out of 17. That's rough. Next, 11-6 for the Tennessee Titans. I have the Titans winning 11 games this year. They won 12 last year. Although Derrick Henry will be back for hopefully the majority of the season, I do think that they'll only win 11 games because they do have a tough schedule. I have them losing to beating the Giants week 1, losing to the Bills, beating the Raiders, losing to the Colts, beating Washington, so back and forth for the first 2 weeks. So I have them splitting with the Colts, and then I have them beating the Jaguars and beating the Texans twice each. I have them losing to Kansas City and the Broncos, but I have them beating the Packers. Sorry. I think that the Packers are going to have a strong team once again this year, but Davante Adams being the number one receiver for Aaron Rodgers allowed Aaron Rodgers more flexibility on his offense, and they went 13-3 the last 3 seasons. That being said, when Davante Adams has not been the number one wide receiver, Aaron Rodgers' winning percentage is significantly lower. And I think that this year the Packers are probably going to have 10 or 11 wins without Davante Adams. Because their schedule is probably going to be on the easier side, they might have 12. I haven't really looked at their schedule yet, but I don't see them being a major Super Bowl contender this year unless they have a really strong start to the season. That being said, I have them losing to Tennessee in that game. I have the Chiefs and Broncos both beating the Titans because I think that both of those teams are going to be more consistent, so I think it's a better shot prediction. I have them losing to the Bengals. I have them beating the Eagles, the Jaguars, the Chargers, and the Texans. Yes, I do have them beating the Chargers. I think that that's a good matchup for them, and I think that the Chiefs and Broncos are slightly worse matchups. I have them losing to the Cowboys Week 17 and beating the Jaguars to round out the season. I think that the Cowboys are kind of a weird matchup for Tennessee because they're all offense, but their defense was really good last year. I think that the Titans' defense needs to step it up if they really want a chance to win some of these games against tougher teams. And I think that the Chargers are going to have a poor end of the season, kind of similar to last year. I think that they're going to start off really strong, or they'll have a strong finish, either one or the other, but I'm banking on them having a bad end and the Titans picking up another game to clinch a wild card spot in the playoffs. Last but certainly not least, we have the Indianapolis Colts. I have the Colts winning 12 games this year. Last year they finished, I believe, 9-7. They might have been 10-6, but I think they were 9-7. That being said, I have them winning Week 1 against the Texans, winning Week 2 against the Jaguars. I have them losing to Kansas City, although I do think they can win that game. I have them splitting with the Titans. They're the only team in the division to have beating the Broncos. I think that the Broncos' rushing defense is not quite as good as it can be. And although Derrick Henry's a monster, I think that the threat of Jonathan Taylor's dual ability of passing and running is going to be a lot for the aging Broncos defense, although they do have some younger players. I think that the Colts are going to take a dub in that one, and then they're going to lose to the Jaguars in Jacksonville, as they always do. Then I have them losing to Tennessee, bringing them to 4-3, and then finishing up the rest of the season 8-2, kind of similar how the Patriots season started last year. I have them beating the Commanders. I have them beating the Pats like they did last year. I have them beating the Raiders. I have them beating the Eagles, Steelers, losing to the Cowboys, beating the Vikings, losing to the Chargers, and then winning the last 2 against the Texans and the Giants. That whole streak is about a bunch of mediocre teams and then 2 good ones. Patriots, Eagles, Steelers, Washington, Raiders, all are kind of on the line of being playoff contenders. The Vikings are always 500. They're always in the mix. And then I have them losing to the Chargers and the Cowboys. I think that the Colts have the easiest schedule of the AFC South this year coming up. That being said, I think that they have the strongest team. I think the Titans could be slightly stronger, but I think that the Colts arguably have the strongest team and the easiest schedule. So I think that they should be able to win the division this year if they play consistently, but I'm not sure how consistently they're going to be able to play. I can see them with a ceiling of 14-3 or a floor of 10-7. A floor of 11-6. I really can't see them going below 11-6. I think that they'll be able to make the playoffs for this year. So those are my AFC South predictions for the 2022 NFL season. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm going to try and get some more videos out in the series, and then I have a couple of other series in mind. One of them revolving fantasy football players, and one of them revolving which teams I think have the best chances to win the Super Bowl. Maybe floors and ceilings, different things like that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Comment your thoughts, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.